If you want to grab our men's lifestyle supplement and male advantage ebook, all links are in the bio. By doing that and getting to the top, okay, you've managed to become successful. If you didn't do that, you might not have. It might not have motivated you. Okay? You get to that point where you think, now I'm super successful. I'm in my Ferrari. I have the beautiful model next to me. 6 months down the line, a year down the line, you might go, do you know what? This is kind of fickle. She's an airhead and she's annoying me, and beauty isn't, necessarily making me happy. This car, this watch, etc., it's all meaningless. It doesn't make me happy at all. Well, okay. Do you know what? You can sell the car, you can get rid of the woman, you can sell the watch. But guess what? You're still rich. Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video I want to talk to you about what motivates men. It's a video I've wanted to make for a while. I just wanted to phrase it correctly. I've made that video to you guys before about live like a king for a day, where I've kind of promoted whatever your dream is, whatever your dream life and setup is, whether that's nice car, nice house, a certain destination you've never been to around the world, a certain woman that you'd like to hang out with, your perfect type. Maybe it can be a friends. I don't know if they want to actually spend the day with you. It can be an escort if you just want somebody to really be dedicated to the idea that you have and not judge you. You just fucking pay for it. Which sounds weird coming from me because I'm against OnlyFans and stuff, but I'm saying it's just one for one night to motivate you. And it was that concept I told you guys before. Live like a king for a day. The reason I always promoted that, and I still will until the day I die, I believe, is because it gives you a taste of what is possible. And that's what I love to do. I love to get a little bit of money, spend on something once, maybe twice a year, and just get that little taste for it and go, ooh, I forgot this is what I'm aiming for. I forgot about how nice it was to sit behind the wheel of a supercar. Those sort of vibes. Like I remember when I did the Ches Rust project, and we had, I know it's not a supercar as such, I don't think anyway, we had the Audi R8 on set when it was new. It was the V10 Spider, like the year it came out. And we were just kind of driving around in that thing around London and, taking pictures and filming with it. That was a sprinkle for me of what the streaming platform's going to be. That kind of budget and how it's going to push it forward. That's motivated me for years. When I finally moved to London and whatever, I got a reminder of that as well. And I was seeing that sort of thing all the time. It's a reminder of what could be. I was seeing the same locations and, I could set something up there. You need these healthy reminders all the time. And this is why as men we need to stop being ashamed of what motivates us. This is the concept I want to hone in on here. Don't be ashamed of what motivates you. Because as men, we get a lot of shit. Get a lot of shit of like, on Instagram you see stuff like, a real man would want to get married and have kids. It's those sort of vibes of like, if he's a player, play him, like shoo him to the side, go and find a real man. A real man would want these things. A real man wants a family. A real man protects his family. Well, really? Because if that doesn't motivate me, it means nothing to me. If my motivation isn't quad bikes, then somebody's showing me a quad bike and being like, mate, if you get rich, you can have this. Then I'd be like, well, that makes no difference to my life. Whether I have this quad bike or not, it doesn't excite me. So I'm not going to work hard in order to get this quad bike. It's the same with like mortgage, marriage, whatever. If that doesn't motivate you as a man, it doesn't make you a bad person. Wanting to go to a strip club and take one of the girls home and then drive off in your Ferrari, and then go and take a trip to Las Vegas, get drunk off your face and sleep with 2 prostitutes. If that's what you want to do, it doesn't make you a bad person. That's just what motivates you. And this is why it's so essential, because, you'll see a lot of girls be like, oh, Ferrari's tacky, Lamborghini, oh God, he must have a small dick. Say whatever you want to say, okay? Because if that shit motivates you and you use it in the right way, so you go to places where there's some Lambos, or you go somewhere where there's beautiful women around, okay? Or you go to a strip club for a night and people are like, oh, what a scumbag, what a tacky guy. But you see beautiful women in lingerie and that kind of gets you going. And then the next day you wake up and you work really hard to achieve, women like that, or a life like that. Or, or you, like I say, you go and test drive a Ferrari and it gives you that boost of like, I really want one of these. Well, here's the thing. If it gives you 5, 6, 7 years of motivation because you're kind of doing that often, or you're going and viewing penthouses and standing at the top and pretending it's yours, which I used to do a lot. I think I documented one for you guys once for law of attraction purposes. And I will always do that. If I was a billionaire, I'd always do it for the next thing. I'd be like, I'm going to rent my friend's yacht just for the day, just to get a little taste. You know, I'd probably have bigger ambitions by then outside of that sort of thing, like SpaceX type of shit. Who knows, right? You don't get to a billionaire and say, what else can I buy? It just doesn't really motivate people. But by doing that, you give, like I said, you give yourself that taster, and you keep doing that not too often, maybe once a year, and you just keep reminding yourself. Well, if that leads to you being super successful because it was so motivating, well, then that's great. You know, you've hit the jackpot. That's exactly what you required. Whereas if somebody said to you, you know, if you work hard and we get this done, we can have 3 kids and a mortgage, and then we can get married. Well, that sounds like a female dream. That's not my personal dream. That doesn't get me out of bed in the morning. That doesn't excite me. I don't know about you guys. It really doesn't excite me. I'm not saying it's bad either. I'm just saying it doesn't excite me, so I wouldn't use that as a motivating factor for my own life. I would use more selfish things that appeal to me. You know, like having homes all around the world, like a penthouse in New York. I always thought that was quite a romantic concept. When I see pictures of these things, I'm like, bang, let's work. Let's study. Let's get this done. You know, if I'm iffy about should I make this payment, should I pay 10 grand in a month for crypto and all these supplements and stuff that I've ordered. You know, when I see pictures like that and I see how other people are living, I'm like, yeah, of course I should. I should push it forward and chase my dream, because it's you know, that's what motivates me to keep going. Now, here's the caveat. By doing that and getting to the top, okay, you've managed to become successful. If you didn't do that, you might not have. It might not have motivated you, okay? You get to that point where you think, now I'm super successful. I'm in my Ferrari. I have the beautiful model next to me. 6 months down the line, a year down the line, you might go, do you know what? This is kind of fickle. She's an airhead and she's annoying me, and beauty isn't, you know, necessarily making me happy. This car, this watch, etc., it's all meaningless. It doesn't make me happy at all. Well, okay. Do you know what? You can sell the car, you can get rid of the woman, you can sell the watch. But guess what? You're still rich. You don't have to get up on Monday morning and go to that 9-to-5 job in the rain and sit and do something shit that you don't want to do. You can still, you know, you could change your life. You could become a Buddhist monk. You could go and sit up in the mountains, build your own fucking house and live out your days with farmland. It's still going to take money in order to do that. But in order to get to that first stage, you know, before you have that revelation, or maybe you love the life, maybe you have like a Floyd Mayweather kind of vibe about you where you're like, actually, I love this, I want more of it. Maybe you hate it and you want to go somewhere else. You know, and I'm not saying it has to be cars, money, women. But whatever motivates you, use it. And don't care what people say. Because if it gets you to your end goal, then it gets you to your end goal. You know, when I've worked in on sales floors and stuff and done telesales, I've seen guys with pictures of cars on their computer screen. I've seen guys with pictures of their wife and their kids on their computer screen. I've seen guys with, you know, like a mechanic, has pictures like pinups of women. I don't know whether they use that in the same way, but in a like kind of trading office, I've seen guys with like their dream home. Like everybody has their one thing. Everybody has something or their dream life that motivates them. Some people have, you know, a guy with a perfect body, you know, and they're a guy themselves and they want to look like that. And they're like, oh, if I do this, if I earn all this money, or they've got that on their phone and they look before they go in the gym and they're like, right, I want to get in that sort of shape. That's what motivates me, to look like this guy. You know, maybe that guy is sat next to a beautiful woman. Maybe he's on Instagram with a stunning wife or something, and this guy is like out of shape and he's going, that's what I want to strive for. Whatever motivates you, it doesn't matter. Just make sure that you use what is your biggest motivation. And naturally, there's going to be the progression bias, where what you want right now isn't what you'll want in the future. You know, so there was times where I was obsessed about maybe getting this one thing or this other thing, or this, if I had this, my life would be perfect. 5 years later, you look back, you're like, I wouldn't want that now at all. You know, but it motivated me to work. Okay, it drove me forwards an extra 3 or 4 steps. And I can look back now and think, when I grew up, I wanted a penthouse in Bristol or Cheltenham. I always thought, oh, that'd be nice, you know, surrounded by people that I know. I'd be like kind of the king in my area, and I dreamt about it. Now I wouldn't want that at all. But back then, that was motivation to get me to where I am now. That was necessary for who I am now. You know, and looking back, I might be like, oh, that was kind of pathetic. I don't care. I don't care, because it got me to where I am now. It pushed me to do the extra work that at the time was necessary, and the motivation enabled me to do. And that's why, like, if you want to go and, you know, like, make sure you got enough money, okay? If you've got like 80 grand in your bank account and you want to spend 3 grand on a trip to Paris, you want to, you know, hire an escort for the night, book a hotel and sleep with the most beautiful woman you've ever seen in a beautiful city, and then walk around the next day and rent a fucking McLaren and drive that thing round and be like, I'm a millionaire in your head, and then the next day you go back to your normal life. If you want to do that, do it. Because it will give you that massive boost to go, shit, that's the life I want. That's what I want to chase. I want to get back to that feeling of having the world's most beautiful woman in a 5-star hotel, the expensive car that I love in the city that I want to be in. You know, that will motivate you. But don't ever be afraid, guys. Don't ever be afraid of what motivates us. No matter what attack we get from feminism, or what people say, or, you know, older people say, oh, that's stupid, that's materialistic. Doesn't matter. As long as it gets you to your goal. If you want to grab our men's lifestyle supplement and male advantage ebook, all links are in the bio.